Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it's going to be classic Sudoku today, just to keep up with those. We do like it, and people do like to see our techniques, so we'll have a look at this in a moment. It's a New York Times hard puzzle. Now, just before that, I do have to trail the Sudoku Hunt on our Patreon page. Fantastic work by Stefan Bura and Udakos, Akash Jain, and it's proving very popular. Not that easy. It has to be worked through carefully. And as I say, people are loving the deductions they have to make. And also I am going to trail our merchandise again, or if you click the Cracking the Cryptic below the video and go to store, you can see our range, which includes some Christmas goods, and they're proving quite popular, to be honest. So this puzzle comes from the New York Times Hard. As I said, I think it was yesterday, and it was sent to us by Sumati Raghavan, who asked, was it just her, or was this a much harder than usual puzzle? So I don't know about that, but do try it on the link below the video, and I'm going to have a go now. So let's get cracking. Where do we start? Well, we've got a nice pattern here ruling a lot of cells out of box 4, aha, and a 9-4 looking into it, so they can't be 9 and 4, and must be 3 and 7. It's a sort of naked pair. We can put the 9-4 as a pair up there, and this is using the central marking for when we know what the candidates are for the cell. This is a bit more of our standard marking in the corners, where a particular digit is confined within a box. So 5 can only be in one of those two cells because of these 5s. And 9 in row 6 has to be in one of those. 7 down here is confined there. And 5 in one of those two. And 7 there and 7 there. Yes, that's making us ask the question, where does 7 go in column 3? And these 3 given 7s are telling us the answer. Very kindly, they force us to put a 7 in there. Now, what else have we got? 1 is confined to a couple of cells in box 7 because of those 1s ruling out those. 6. Oh no, 6 can be filled in. Yeah, there's 4 given 6s looking at box 1. Anytime you've got 4 of the same digit looking at a box, you can just fill it in. That's giving us a 2 in the corner. 2 is also confined over here by that 2 looking at those cells. And a little odd pair there, because those 2 possibilities and that 2 are ruling out all of those cells in box 6. And that's not getting me very far. Seven is confined to one of those two by these and the fact that there's a 7 definitely in one of those. 6. Oh, that's a classic New York Times trick. Look at that 5-7-3 set. They're ruling out 3, 5, and 7 from all those cells. So where do 3, 5, and 7 go in this column? There's not much room for them now, but especially as that can't be 1, so these 3 cells have to be a 3, 5, 7 triple. This one can't be 7 because there's already a 7 in the row. The key thing about that is that this cell, although it still has 3 possibilities, cannot be a 1 once it can only be 3, 5, and 7. And therefore we know where 1 goes in the box. So that ought to be helpful. It gives us a 2-4 pair. Filling in some candidate cells now might help because we're not getting very far otherwise, actually. That triple was good, but it didn't give much. 9, 5. That's a 3 or an 8. That is a 3 or a 5. And this is another absolute classic New York Times. 2 of them in a row. Madness going on here. What I'm looking at is this column and where 2s and 6s can go. And you have to consider them as a pair. And it's partly, just as we had 5, 7 and 3 all sitting up there, we've got 6 and 2 sitting up here, ruling out 2 and 6 from those cells. And now we know it can't be there. Or they can't be there. 2 and 6 have to be a pair here. And I'm thinking that helps me, but I don't know how. Oh, that's okay. This is crazy. I don't know if this is a logical next step, but I've noticed that if you put a 6 here, that puts a 6 here, and that puts a 6 here, which is fine. But what does it do to 2s? Well, in column 6 and box 6, it puts 2 2s here. Once you've taken that to be not a 2 because of these 6s, that being a 6 creates, then 2 has to be there, and for the column it would have to be there. That's impossible, so that's not a 6. That is a 2. So that's probably an inference chain, I'm afraid, but that's how I'm looking at this puzzle. So 2 is there. 2's in one of these cells for definite, and now one of these 2 can't be there because of the pair up here. Now, what else have we got? I mean, it's still not done. 4 is now in one of those and one of those. 1 is confined in there, somewhere up there. This lot have always been 4, 5 because of that pair. I didn't really want to write it in because it's clogging the grid up a bit with pencil marks and making things difficult to see, which is really why we don't favour the all candidates notation, that and the fact that it takes ages to put in. Wow, this really isn't giving up, is it? Oh, well, that's interesting. We've got a 1-8 column looking at this box as well. Oh, stop it. These cells, we now know they can't be 1-8 or 5-4. Well, okay, I suppose we could always have known, but I have just worked out from the placing of these digits in a sort of cross shape that these 3 cells cannot be 1-8 or 5-4. I mean, you can see that from where 8 and 1 are positioned in the rows, 4 and 6 in the columns. They clearly can't be 7, that's already there. And they can't be 6 because of where 6s are placed looking at those 3 cells. Therefore, they're yet another triple, a bent triple of 2, 3, 9. This one can't be 2 because we know 2 is in one of those. Now, are we there yet? I mean, I don't even know. 2, 3, 9. Yes, so where does 9 go in column 8? Not there because 2, 3, 9 are a triple around the outside. Not there because there's a 9 in the cage. Not there, in the box rather. Not there because of that 9, and not there because of a 9 being there. So that puts 9 here. That gives us the 7. That puts 7 here. That forces the 5. I'm hoping we're off to the races now. Although I wouldn't be backing me in any races. 7 there. 9, 5 must be here. 8 and 9 finish that box apart from the 3, 4 pair. Wow, this really was a hard New York Times. I mean, I have a feeling I've made it harder than it needs to be, but everything spotted was necessary. 1, that fixes the 2s, so that puts 2 here now. Let's take the 2 marks. We've got a 3, 9 pair. In fact, we've got a 3, 8 pair there, so 6 can go in there. That means that 6, 1, 8 are a triple. Yeah, 6. In fact, 6 is placed here. That's now a 1, 8 triple, so we can take the 4, 5 corner marks out. We know that 4, 5 are a pair there. We know that's a 1, 8 triple pair. 87-1. This is a 3-4 pair. 7 to 8, 5, 9, and 6 here. That can't. I mean, it's still not easy. Probably is. Oh yes, that 1 is sorting out the 8-1 pair. That sorts out 3-8. That sorts out the 3-9 pair that's offset. So that's probably going to read across, into a 4-3. Takes a 9 out of there and puts it in there. The 4-3 gives us the 5-4. Suddenly it's all working together now. Finally. What a puzzle. Now, I said, yes, because this was part of the original 3-5-7 triple, that can't be a 4, which is very useful to remember, as it enables us to finish pretty much all of boxes 1, 4, and 7 down the left. 4 at the top, thanks to the pencil marking, 3 and 4 there, and we really are just finishing off now. But what a puzzle. Nothing easy about that baby. My goodness. I mean, for them to just call that hard, when I believe the New York Times has harder grades than that. Interesting. Do let me know how you got on. I have a feeling there was at least one convoluted step there that wasn't necessary. Well, almost certainly that thing with spotting that 6 there, 6 there, 6 there killed the 2s. But man, that was tough. What a monster. Good luck with that. Hope you did it in a handy fashion, and see you soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.